So today, there's not been a new meditation technique taught. So I would recommend that you either do see, hear, feel, or metta. But then the way I'm going to cue is going to be a little bit more geared towards see, hear, feel, but please feel free to do whichever. Okay, good. So now let's just go ahead and straighten up. Push the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And just let everything settle in. Like feel your spine, how it's erect and stable. And then notice how your whole body just hangs off of your spine. And also see how there's this natural rest that comes over you. This surrender to the posture, surrender to the meditation. Okay, good. Now we're going to do our pranayama or breath work. So now only do the following if your hands are relatively clean. So take your right hand, curl the first two fingers, and now block the right nostril. Okay, now inhale through the left. Pinch and retain. Release the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Pinch and retain. Release the left, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Pinch and retain. Exhale through the right. Good, and release. All right, now inhale the arms up like so. Retain the breath, bring the arms out to the side. Exhale. The hands are coming towards each other. They're going to meet in front of the sternum. Okay, inhale the arms up. Retain the breath, bring the arms out to the side. Exhale. The hands are coming towards each other. Inhale the arms up again. Retain the breath, bring the arms out to the side. Exhale. Okay, inhale the arms up again. Now interlace the fingers and bring them down to the head. And now you're going to go over to your right side, Deep stretch the left side body, retaining the breath. Now exhale, coming back to center, dropping down the hands, and inhale the arms up again. Interlace the fingers, bring them down to the head. Now over to your left side, Retaining the breath, deep stretch on the right side body. Exhale, coming back to center, dropping down the hands. Good. Inhale again. Arms come up. Now have the torso pivot over to your right side and then drop your arms and look over your right shoulder. Retain the breath. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, the arms up again. Pivot over to your left. Bring the arms down, look over your left shoulder, retain the breath. Exhale, coming back to center. Okay, good. Now we're going to check back in with the posture. Take the crown of the head, push it up towards the ceiling. That's your kind of hack. That's how you find the posture. Another analogy that works is you feel like you're hanging from like a piece of your hair that's right at the crown. So it's like you're hanging from this. Okay, good. We bring the shoulders back. The chest is up and out just a bit. The chin is tucked. The tongue is plastered to the palate, to the top of the mouth. The tip of the tongue touching the top of the back front teeth. There's a little bit of a forward tilt in the hips. Opening up the diaphragm and also bringing a slight curve to the lower back, which helps the stability of the posture so that the upper body stays centered and firm. It's helpful if we can have the knees below the hips just a bit. Again, that just keeps blood flowing, helps keep the hips in a slight forward tilt. And then now just notice what this actually feels like. Notice the rest and the alertness. And go ahead and surrender to the posture. Just allowing it all to be as it is. And now open up the eyes. And here we're going to be taking a tour through the senses, sensitizing ourselves to peripheral awareness, whatever could be arising. So here we're going to look at external sight. And just take in things as they are. Now see if you can make the gaze unfocused and drop the activity of conceptualization as you're looking. Just let it be bare awareness. I can explain this a bit by contrast, by way of contrast. So like look at something and know what it is conceptually. Like I'm looking at a calendar and I know, aha, this is a calendar. And this knowing, this conceptual knowing is connected with the visual experience. And now see if you can drop the conceptual knowing and just experience the thing as it is. It can be helpful to kind of soften the gaze, loosening the muscles of the eyes, letting everything go soft. So there's this experience of seeing, but without necessarily having to conceptualize. Okay, and we drop that. And then bring your attention to internal visual thought. What's arising in internal visual thought? Maybe faces or other objects. And just notice. And also notice how every object arises out of awareness, is made of awareness, and recedes back into awareness. There's a movement, but there's a kind of stillness that underlies the movement. And let that go. And now bring your attention to the auditory field, external auditory field. Now this is an interesting trick. See if you can hear a sound that is not there. This helps awareness expand. Listen to the sound of the moon. Alternatively, listen to the sound of the ships in a distant harbor. The sound of their blowing their foghorns. See if you can hear them. And then we can drop that. And now listen to auditory thinking, so internal self-talk. And it might be that when you put your attention on it, it doesn't arise, which is fine. And let that go. Now take a deep breath and feel the whole body all at once. And now notice how the body is just there doing its thing. You're not involved. Things are just as they are. Kind of surrender into that. And now bring your attention to the feet. The feet are tingling. Now feel the calves, the lower legs. And to hold our attention on this, we can note feel. And now bring your attention to the legs. Feel the legs. Now feel the hips. Now feel the stomach. Now feel the chest. Now feel the shoulders, the upper back. Release any tension that might be there. And now feel the upper arms. And now feel the forearms. Now feel the hands. Now feel the neck. Now feel the face. Now the head. Now take a deep breath and feel the whole body all at once. Now check in with the feelings. I'm sorry, the emotions. You might feel those in the heart area, the throat, the face, the front of the body, the head, shoulders. And let that go. Okay, so now we'll do 15 minutes of practice and do either see, hear, feel or metta. But then the way I'll guide is a little bit more oriented towards see, hear, feel, but either is fine. putting forth attention, putting forth effort. If you're doing see, hear, feel, continuing to note. If you're using label, you just label whatever experience is arising. Seems the most salient. If you're doing metta, just doing that. Generating the feeling of loving kindness, using image thoughts, auditory thoughts, body sensations to support the emotion and mental state of kindness, friendliness, love. Okay, so we'll start wrapping up the meditation, but before we do, just go ahead and relax the body, relax the mind, and now look at the mind itself. Noticing the natural openness, receptivity, friendliness, the natural state. Okay, good. So may we awaken quickly for the benefit of all beings. Okay. All right, so how did that go for people? Are there any questions about the coming week? So while we're waiting for everybody to gather their thoughts, I'll make a couple of comments. So this week, in a sense, the homework isn't any different. Either do see, hear, feel, or metta, or a combination of metta and see, hear, feel as your formal practice, but really lean into the informal practice. So try to do a lot of micro hits during the day, try to do background practice throughout the day, and then continue with the 6 acts of generosity a day, which is very, very helpful. All right, good. Any questions or comments coming up for people?
So it's me again, Matt.
Right.
It's interesting. Like towards the end of that, I started to let my mind get away from me a little bit because I got too relaxed. I
Yep.
noticed that I was starting to drift, and so I tried to like infuse like some energy or some effort into it,
Good.
and I was getting back into it. And then just before you said take a look at your mind, I already did the pre-exploring, which is very much my personality. I started kind of noted. I was like, all right, so what are you feeling? What are you like? Go back to feeling is the easiest one for me because for me it's the one that arises the most. And I
Yep.
was like, I feel kind of like an emptiness, and I was like, where's the emptiness? And I was like, oh, like in my head. And then I was picturing an empty room, and then I was getting kind of anxious about it, like, oh, isn't there supposed to be like something here or something like that?
Yeah.
And then you said take a look right after that, and you're like, all right, now experience your emptiness. So that was just something that happened with me
Oh,
that was
very
kind of
cool. Okay, cool. Good report. Okay. So last call. Any more questions or comments? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. So also next week, uh, the class will happen on Sunday, not Monday, and then the week thereafter it'll go back to Monday. But I'll send out a reminder for that, and then I will hopefully within 2 days send out the video recording and also that long list of opportunities to do mindfulness practice in daily life. And so that's all I got for you. So thank you all for coming today. It's a pleasure as always.